Hey everyone, it's Kong again with a little bit of a different video today. I just wanted to show a brief little showcase of Altemuller's Dragon Dance ability that teleports several enemies within 3 rings to around his position, and if you get enough enemies, then it lets him act again and attack them. This is a pretty dangerous skill that I think is probably for a lot of people Altemuller's most scary or intimidating skill. Partly because it's the skill that you have to think about your positioning for. So when you're facing Altemuller, the thing that's on your mind is how you position your characters not to get sucked. So I just wanted to show a couple example games of this skill being used. So our first game here is Tristan against Kuhaku. The first thing to note here that's not necessarily relevant to all Altemullers, but it is relevant to Tristan's. He has a Swordsmith's Medal on his, so he's immune to the fixed damage here, meaning Cherie can't secure the kill with her opening attack. She just runs back to safety. The other scary thing about Altemuller is, of course, you just saw Tristan proc Breeze there. With his unique helmet, Breeze lasts twice as long. So it gives him a lot of flexibility for positioning for a couple turns. Okay, here's the fatal mistake. So we'll pause here and enhance. So you can see if you have 3 squishy characters within a 2-ring area that your guard, that your tank, is also not in, it gives Altemuller an opening to suck those 3 squishy characters. He gets his act again, and then he essentially gets to pick 2 of them to take out. So Tristan's going to go for Licorice here. Then he's going to get the act again from his 3-cost skill, which lets him go for Cherie, so he takes out both the DPS units, and that's enough for Kuhaku. Next up we have a match here against Leheren Berchar. Now, something else that's easy for some players to forget if they're not used to playing with or against Altemuller, and are used to thinking of him as a Strategic Masters and an Empire character, is that he can also take a faction buff from Bozal, because he's also in Dark Reincarnation. Now, Altemuller procs another Breeze there, so that's going to be good for him for a couple turns. Bozal rushes in to bait out the Liana, and then we can pause here and enhance. We see we have a similar situation to last game, with Bozal, Licorice, and Liana all out in front of Bernhardt. So as long as Altemuller has any spot that gets those 3 in 2 rings and no Bernhardt, he gets his pick of these units. Now in this third match, Tristan is facing Godgirl, and again he'll be relying on Bozil for his faction buff for Altemuller. Now you'll notice there, Juglar used Great Dragon Barrier, obviously concerned about tanking Lucretia hits for the rest of his team. That just means he won't have access to Triton, which is going to come into play. The Aurora Ring means that Altemuller will get some healing right when he needs it. So Tristan with turn priority. Let's take a look at the situation over here. We have 2 rings. Now, being able to pull people away from guard isn't as important here because remember, Juglar doesn't have Triton up. So he can include Juglar in the 3 characters that he sucks, knowing that Bozil and Licorice aren't going to be guarded regardless. Now, in this final game against Linnaeus, we're going to see something a little bit different. It's not a big full-team suck, but it is an important positional consideration for Altemuller. Now you can see during these first couple of turns, it looks like Tristan is baiting Cherie with his Altemuller again. He likes that confidence of knowing that he's not going to take that Ragnarok chip damage from her, so he intentionally put her in range, hoping that she would come out of position. Linnaeus didn't take the bait, though. Now, instead of pulling the whole team here, Altemuller just pulls Licorice, and he's able to pull her far enough away from the tank that she can't run back. So Licorice is left exposed, with Elwyn still to act. It's another thing that you can look out for, the opportunity to do. Also the opportunity to avoid if the need be. Now there's one more funny little positional thing that happens in this match. Not quite related to Altemuller. But Linnaeus moves his guard away from Florentia, hoping that the fog is going to keep her safe. But Tristan just charges Elwyn into the fog anyway to kill her. Elwyn's job is pretty much done in this fight already after picking that Licorice. He's fairly useless against Hilda, so being able to take out Florentia for free is a pretty good trade for Tristan at this point. Linnaeus has no sustain left, so this is going to become a scrappy battle for the middle, with Tristan having 2 tanks and a healer. Definitely gives him the advantage. Anyway, that's it for me and this little video about Altemuller positioning, things to be wary of, things to be careful of, and maybe things to look out for if you're playing Altemuller. I think if you have a built SP Altemuller in your box already, these are already things that you're looking out for. But for those of us who aren't as familiar with playing against him, then hopefully this will be a useful PSA. Anyway, enjoy the rest of this battle. I'll catch you in the next one. Happy Langrissing, everyone.
無駄だ。